Hey guys, welcome back to Nothing Nerdy, and I'm here with the Inspector who reacts. Hey, Inspector.
Hey, hello.
How you doing, Inspector?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very interested. I'm ready to talk about these movies and, get on with the continuation of this, of introducing you to these characters and storylines.
Yeah, I think you guys will be surprised by my um, reaction because I think everybody. I think well, okay, so I expected to like Iron Man 3 more than Thor, and it was actually the other way around. I wasn't crazy about Iron Man 3, to be honest with you,
Eh, yeah.
and and Thor was really good. Like this is so okay. So right now my list, like Captain America is here.
hmm
Thor 2, Thor: The Dark World is number 2.
That's really.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I felt like it was
Uh,
really well done. Well, I mean, we'll get into details about that later. But in terms of, in general, like my preference, Iron Man 3 gave me nightmares. Like, it really did. I did not sleep well last night. I watched it
ye-
before I went to bed. Um,
yeah.
Overall, um, I love him. I think he's hilarious. I think his character's hilarious. Natalie Portman
Tony.
worked for you. Oh, Natalie Portman always works for me. She's great. she
Okay.
she wasn't the problem.
So I'm just gonna just let you know that Thor: The Dark World is actually a lot of people's least favorite of the whole
Really?
movies. Yeah, it's like the like the lowest point people thought it ever goes. Everything else escalates. It just gets better from here, honestly.
Wow.
Like but yeah, I rewatched when I rewatched it, I thought, man, this movie's actually better than I remember. Like it's actually like Thor 2 is really good. Iron Man 3, it has its moments, but yeah.
Um, yeah, the ending of
Oh,
Thor I wasn't crazy about, and yeah, just yeah, Iron Man. It was just I just can't. I just can't. Sorry, go ahead.
so let's guess we start with Iron Man 3 first.
Yeah. Um. All right. So I mean, it was intriguing in the beginning. You know, we see him um, in the past, um, and we saw what's his face from the first Iron Man.
Oh, Happy,
Happy.
right?
Uh,
Happy.
Happy.
Um,
Who's happy?
the
Uh,
John Favreau. That's Happy.
oh, no, I wasn't talking about him. From
Jensen, yes.
Jensen.
Oh
Yes, I'm
yeah,
like
you're
begins
right.
with a
I,
Y. Oh, Jensen.
yeah.
Thank
When
you,
I
Captain
rewatched it
Spike.
yesterday, I did not know. I forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah, I was so
I
excited. I
was
was like,
like,
oh my god,
I was
he's
just
alive.
like,
So
oh, so they've met before.
yeah, so I was excited to see that. Yeah, and like that confused me. I was like, I thought they didn't meet until
Yeah,
like later on, but they actually met before. So that was kind of cool. So we see Tony Stark in his old ways, you know,
yeah.
flirting with women and getting himself into trouble, and um, he
Old
meets
Tony,
yeah,
young Tony,
and
old young.
he meets this guy Killian, talking about his company, Advanced Idea Mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And Stark's like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in what you're doing. Meet me up at the roof in 10-15 minutes. And obviously he doesn't. Um, oh, he does say that in the first movie. See, I don't remember. Um,
Yeah, that line kind of. I didn't think about that before, or at least I thought it
um,
was a throwaway line,
comes in the first
sort of
movie.
thing.
Surgical conference room. Oh, see, like I guess I kind of have to go back and watch it now. Pepito, hello. Um, yeah, so he blows him off, and
Mm-hmm.
let's see what else. Okay, and so then, and like I don't know, I think he leaves the girl at some point
Yeah,
the next morning
he
or
has
something.
his
Um,
he has his fun for a night, and then
and then
he
he just
heads out.
disappears. Um, so when he kind of like as he's narrating this, he's kind of mentions like he mentions like how did he word it? I made demons that night, something
Yeah.
like that. So it's like okay, we know he made he made some enemies. So then it kind of fast forwards into the present day, and we see him working on, which I thought was pretty cool, like all of these Iron Man suits. So as opposed to
Yeah.
just having like, one or two.
He's like basically like putting like trackers or something to attack, like basically activate them without having to
Yeah,
force
and that
them.
was that was like a big thing throughout the whole movie. Like all he has to do is go like this,
Yeah.
and it's kind of reminding me of Spider-Man. Um, yeah, so even Pepper comments on it. She's like, you're still making more of these. What are you up to, number 17? And then you look over
Like,
at his armor and it
Mark.
says like 42. And he's like, oh yeah, 17. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, when he's not even in the armor and she's like having a date with her.
Oh yeah, and that like he meets her when she gets home from work, and but then she makes her way downstairs and she finds out that it wasn't even him. It was just one of his suits. It's like it talks like him. And.
Well, he's still like, I think he has like a VR set to see through it, but
Oh,
he's
that's what he was doing. Okay. So she understandably was mad.
yeah.
Too busy to spend time with your girlfriend. Real nice.
Yeah, but yeah, like it is interesting to see. Like this is basically after Avengers, so he's going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, that starts to unfold. Like he kind of has like PTSD. He's dealing with some anxiety after what happened, which makes sense. I mean, he flew out of the planet. He had this thing, and he was,
yeah.
he almost
He
died.
basically almost died.
Yeah.
Which, I forgot to mention that back in Last Avengers. I always was like, okay, so Tony has like a waterproof suit, but he didn't have a space proof suit or something.
I guess he never thought he'd be leaving the planet. I don't know.
But I didn't realize though, it's like the suit that he did fight in that movie in the fight was a prototype, so it wasn't fully finished.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the one little flaw that he didn't account for. Of course, he wasn't planning to go to space.
Yeah. It's not that kind of night. We're not doing Twitch tonight, so no treats.
Oh.
They don't have channel points on YouTube. Sorry. This is what she does now. Whenever I start streaming, she just comes running in here, like, looking for a treat.
She knows now.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know why Pepper gets upset.
Yeah, it was low.
He was totally giving her attention. I swear. Intent doesn't count anymore. No, it doesn't. In that case, it does not. All right. So yeah, and he talks about like how he hasn't been like speaking of his PTSD or his anxiety. He's also not sleeping. I think he mentions he was up for like 72 hours or something. So he's kind of already going like a little cuckoo.
Oh yeah. He's pushing it.
Yeah. But then they talk about we start to see like these clips of
yeah, we see like news clips and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Of this terrorist known as Mandarin.
Yeah, the Mandarin.
Yeah. Nobody can catch him. He's killed people.
He's basically hijacking the news networks and threatening, the U.S. and other places.
Yeah. Yeah. So on all the stations, and nobody can find him. Nobody can get him. Whatever. And then okay. All right. What comes next? Just read my notes. Do you remember what came next after we see that?
Well, I think
that's
Tony
when. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is that when the suit like wakes up in the night?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, one of his suits tries to, like, I don't know if you know.
He calls it when he's sleeping or something like that. Yeah. Accidentally.
And yeah, so it like goes after. It doesn't like hurt her, but like it like she wakes up and it's there. And she's mad, so she's like, I'm sleeping downstairs. And then the next day, so she's at the office. Did I skip anything?
Oh yeah. This I think happened before all this, but that was when she meets Oh, what was his name?
Well, that's what I was
The,
gonna. Yeah.
the other guy. She meets. I saw the movie and I've already forgotten. That's how
Killian.
Killing, yeah.
Killian. I thought it was the next day, but yeah, she goes into work and someone requests a meeting with her, and it turns out to be someone she used to know, Killian, and this was the guy that was there.
Yeah, I met Tony way back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he mentions to her about his project or whatever, and something with the brain, and he pulls up this whole big fancy projection of his brain or whatever, and anyway, so he does his spiel, and she's like, I'm not interested. So
yeah, she's like, he presents an idea, she's like, nah, it's not gonna work for me.
Yeah. And while they're in the middle of their meeting, Happy is outside. I liked how I love his character, but I especially loved it in this movie. He was so funny.
Brando.
What's that?
Brando's in the chat.
Oh, hi Brando.
Hope you stay safe.
And so Happy's kind of like, Happy doesn't like what's happening here, so he's watching. He reaches out to Tony and tells him what's going on. And he's also watching the guy who came with Killian. He's like, this guy looks fishy, so he's like watching him. He's like, where's your badge? Because now he's like head of security or something.
Yeah.
Apparently he's making everyone miserable. He was hilarious. He was just so funny through the whole thing. Yeah. So he and he actually decides to follow him for the rest of the day. Losing my voice.
And so we get to remember what happens in between, but basically like Happy follows the guys to whatever deal like happens at the theater, and that's when it goes kind of bad.
Yeah, he follows him. He does some kind of exchange with someone.
Yeah,
and Happy
gets
intervenes and like steals one of it. I'll be honest, I don't understand all the little things that necessarily were happening, but so anyway, but the guy confronts him. Killian's sidekick or whatever, and they fight. He turns into a big fiery being, and
I think the main guy overdoses and blows up, and that's when the other guy like just escapes, and Happy's put out of commission.
Oh, don't they fight?
They do have a scuffle, but I don't think it's like a big fight.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, he ends up getting knocked unconscious, and is taken to a hospital. So
he's in the hospital. Tony visits him. They're watching Downton Abbey.
I thought that was hilarious. And especially that scene at the end.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie where he's like looking past the nurse, and he's like and you see that he's watching Downton.
What's going on? I'm missing it.
I thought that was so funny.
Have you seen Downton Abbey?
So I had seen bits and pieces because my mom was a big fan. So when I lived at home, I would catch her watching it here and there. I never really sat down and watched the whole episode, but I did go to see the movie.
Really?
Yeah, because she loved it, so I went with her to go see the movie, and it was very good.
Isn't the movie like the finale? Like the send-off?
I guess so. Madigan, your butt's in the frame. Your butt is in my scene.
She's just like... But yeah, I've seen like a few seasons. I never finished it. But yeah, it was like me and my family would watch it occasionally. Way back when it was airing on Masterpiece.
Yeah.
PBS.
Yeah, I like I like British television, including Doctor Who. Gladigan is
Um,
Madigan. Dignity.
so, yeah.
So,
So Tony gets upset.
yeah, he's
And
mad, and he runs into the reporters on the way out of the hospital, and in a moment of, I wanted to strangle him when he did it. Like, you claim to love Pepper so much, but yet by doing what you did, you put her in danger. Just saying.
yeah.
In a moment of anger, he threatens
He
the Mandarin,
challenges the
challenges the
Mandarin,
Mandarin.
yeah.
Come find me. Here's my address. Let's go.
Yeah.
So sure enough, he goes home, and Pepper is there. The woman from
the past, yeah.
from the
Comes
past,
back.
so that he had a one night stand with, shows up, and before she can even really say anything, they're
under attack.
They're under attack. Maya Hansen, thank you.
Yeah, it was I know a lot of people like get on to, or kind of like the threat. Yeah, I understand, but people like saying like Tony shouldn't have given away his address. Everybody knows where he lives. Like his address can't be that hard to find.
But for someone who's so good with security, he probably found a way to keep it like top secret.
He's on. Yeah, I don't know. I just always feel like he's got parties and all that sort of things. Like, can't be hard to Google Tony Stark's house.
Hello, Lord Vader. Thor took Natalie Portman from me. This is outrageous. It's unfair.
Thor can handle sand, dude.
Yeah. So the next scene was one of those. So when they attack, they come in with the helicopters, and this was one of those scenes where I was like this, I can't handle scenes like that. So, his house is basically demolished. There was one point where to protect Pepper, Thor.
Yeah, Tony covers Pepper with the armor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this movie might have improved a little if Thor showed up. That's actually kind of a joke. Is like, okay, there's all these terrible things that happen to the planet, and the Avengers don't show up. Like, it's just this one hero's problem.
Yeah.
It's like you have a team now.
I know. It would have made more sense. Yeah, oh man. Rest in peace for 7 hours. Yeah. So he at one point disappears. He gets thrown into the water. So Pepper escapes with Maya.
Yeah.
Tony's get her Pepper, get Maya out of here. Let's just go. I got this covered. So they escape to safety. Once Jarvis tells him they're in the clear, he takes the suit from Pepper and puts it on himself. So anyway, next thing you know, he's sinking down into the water, and I can't watch things like that. Then I stop breathing, and but anyway, Jarvis eventually gets the rocket thing to work.
Yeah, the flight abilities.
Yeah. And he lands, was it Tennessee?
Tennessee, yeah.
Tennessee.
Goes from, where is it, Los Angeles? Los Angeles to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it runs out of power along the way. And crash lands.
Yeah. Program with a flight path, yeah. So it was kind of Jarvis's doing, bringing him there.
I love what Tony's just like, where are we? It's Tennessee. Why? You told me to come take you here. It's that's not what I meant.
Let's see.
So the armor dies for the moment.
And so anyway, he starts walking around trying. He's lost. Trying to find shelter, and he comes across this. Oh, well, while he's traveling, he stops.
He calls Pepper.
He calls Pepper, and leaves her a message. And then he continues on his way, and he finds shelter in this little shed. I guess it was someone's shed.
Yeah,
like this
something like that. Yeah.
And he meets this little boy his family lives there. And this little boy winds up like helping him.
Yeah.
Which
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked that aspect of it. The kid was funny. Harley, you're good with your names. And Harley kept asking about New York, like
kept bugging him and
Yeah.
kind of pushing his buttons.
and Tony was like, I don't want to talk about it, like it gives me anxiety. Oh yeah, I missed that part in the beginning where he had like an anxiety attack, like he just like
Yeah,
went
that's
crazy.
right. Yeah. It's like little like 6-year-old kid like spooks him,
Yeah.
asking him questions too.
Mm-hmm.
And he just spending a lot of days working and tinkering and not getting enough sleep and all that, plus the what happened in the past. It's overwhelming now at that
Yeah.
time.
But while he's there, he tries to rebuild. Well, he does rebuild his suit, and he asks the boy to help him. He's like, I need a cell phone and a couple other things.
Digital watch.
Yeah. So then the boy agrees to help him.
They go visit it. Oh yeah, we went to Tennessee because there was another sort of explosion that had happened before, similar to the one that happened to Happy. That's why they went to go. That's why Tony was going to Tennessee to check it out.
Oh, see, that whole thing confused me. I was a little confused about that. Okay. So when the two were sitting there, it was like a memorial or something.
Something like that, yeah.
And the boy was like filling him in. Okay, and then he meets with that woman.
The mother or wife of the victim, the person who.
I think it was the mother.
Yeah, I think it was too.
He was investigating another soldier dying in similar circumstances to the guy at the courtyard in the theater. Okay. The mother. All right.
Yeah.
And she brings a file. And just as they're about to who went against Iron Man versus Cyborg?
That's a DC robotic cybernetic hero.
I'm still new to all this, so I don't know. But since I only know Iron Man, I would say Iron Man.
That is an interesting one. I'll have to think about that. Look into that.
We'll do pair-ups. Who would win?
Next year.
Or Thor? Yeah, next year. God.
When we get nerdy onto DC, maybe.
Oh boy. Oh boy, I scared Lord Vader. All right.
Yeah, they get this woman attacks them basically.
Yeah, and she's one of those fiery people.
Yeah.
Do we know what they're called? Do they
Nope.
They don't have a name. Well, that's just
I don't. This what makes Iron Man 3 so weird. Is that this kind of just happens.
That's weird. So
extremist soldiers. Yeah, I guess something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. So this woman claims to be from Homeland Security, whatever. And then she reveals herself to be one of those things. She kills the sheriff. Her and Tony go at it. And while this is going on, Pepper and Maya.
Oh yeah, they're discussing Killian being a traitor, working with the Mandarin.
Yeah, And while they're doing that, who shows up but Killian and kidnaps both of them.
Yeah.
So, but then I think, is that when Stark is kidnapped as well?
That happens a little later.
Okay.
But so Tony, like, they after the like this, so Tony has a scuffle with a couple of flame extremist soldiers, the veterans, something like that, and thugs, I guess, Killian's thugs, and of course after taking care of one of the woman, he gets attacked by the other guy who brings a water tower on top of him, and the kid gets kind of held hostage for a moment. But early on, Tony gave him a little flash grenade of sorts.
Yeah, that was cool. And he told him, how do you handle bullies? What do you do? And he does the thing, and I thought that was cool.
Then later on, Tony and the kid have a little funny moment. Like, all of that's like, I don't remember what to talk about. One of my favorite moments is just basically like Tony gets in the car that he takes, and kid's like, I'm cold.
The kid was trying to make him feel bad for him, so he sees we have a connection.
Yeah, it's like, I can tell because we're connected. And then it's off.
That was really funny. But then Tony just leaves him there.
Yeah,
it's okay. We have a connection.
he's within walking distance of his house.
Yeah. He can never handle being a father, Tony Stark. So I believe next he meets up with Rhodes.
No, okay, yeah. Rhodey has his own kind of situation, so he's trying to find the Mandarin, and he's now Iron Patriot.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Iron Patriot.
Rhodey's going through his whole situation, and then he gets kidnapped. Rhodey gets kidnapped by the soldiers.
Okay.
When he gets, Tony's on his way to Florida, I believe it was.
Miami, yeah.
Yeah, and he's he has another anxiety attack, and then the kid basically suggests you should build things, do the thing that calms you down, or get your mind in the right place. And so I gotta say, it's kind of interesting seeing Tony just basically he's got his own taser, his own darts and grenades out of Christmas. This is a Christmas movie.
I eventually caught on.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's this is a summer movie.
Thank you, Lord Vader. Much appreciated. Thank you for stopping by.
See ya, Vader. But yeah. I can't remember exactly. Oh, yeah. So Tony finds the Mandarin. Is not the Mandarin.
Yes, yeah. So he and Rhodes track him down, and he turned out to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He was hired to kind of play this part, and so the actor, he's kind of he's kind of an idiot. I mean, he just and so he kind of divulges all this stuff to them, they hired me for this part. It's all a show. I'm not really doing it, anything or whatever.
Yeah. And then Tony gets captured, and then of course while he's captured, we find out the woman that was also kind of, well, yeah, we found out with Krillian showed up and kidnapped Pepper,
Yeah.
but yeah, she's kind of working with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Maya was working with him. Um, but then again, and this was one of those things that confused me. She like threatens. So, oh well. Anyway, so Pepper's chained up. Obviously, Maya's not. He's doing his experiment thing on her, transforming her, whatever. And at one point, Maya like starts questioning Killian.
Yeah, then she threatens to kill herself if he doesn't cooperate, and then he kills her anyway.
Yeah, I was like, I thought that was weird. It was like, I guess I didn't understand why that would stop him.
I don't know. It's just, I guess she figured, he didn't know the formula better than
her.
It's a weird storyline that I don't know, could have gone better, but probably didn't. It just didn't. No.
She's his lead scientist, so
yeah.
So she knows
true.
most. Okay.
It just was weird. Mm-hmm. It was just a weird that it was just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess we're done with that.
Yeah. Yeah, he like didn't think anything of it and just killed her. To Extremis? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think that's what they call the formula or the
So Killian, tells Tony what he did. Let's see.
Really interesting. What?
Originally, Maya was supposed to be a big villain, but Marvel thought they couldn't sell toys with her. Oh. Well, that's too bad. Would certainly be different nowadays, probably. Plot doesn't evolve because Tony escapes, and he never would have worked with them anyhow. Yeah.
Tony's escape was pretty fun, though.
Yeah.
His I love that where he's just like, he's trying to like scare the thugs or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like telling him like you better get out of here. I'm gonna beat you. And then it's like, and then of course they break the watch. He's like, all right, no, that wasn't minded, so I'm gonna have to take you out.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Like, 5. Like that's one of my favorite ones. Is he's counting just like 5, 4, come on,
and nothing.
And then finally, the armor, like a piece of the armor shows up.
Yeah.
And helps him out.
Yeah. So he gets his armor back, or did he get all of it back at that point?
You got pieces of it, and then you got the rest over time.
Okay.
Because it was all locked in the shed until the kid broke it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then Stark meets up with Rhodes, and they find out that Killian has people aboard Air Force One, and they're gonna. Because they took.
They took Rhodes' suit. Yeah, they took the Patriot suit.
Yeah. So they think that it really is Rhodes, and he's providing protection.
Yeah.
But it's not really him. Killian's people took the suit. So they find out that that this is going on. They call up the vice president to tell him what's going on, and he says he's going to send a couple.
He basically says he's going to do something and then doesn't.
Yeah. He acts like nothing happens.
Because he has I think it's his child.
Yeah.
Is disabled, so he's working with the people who can heal her.
Yeah. So F-22s, you're really good. You really know your stuff. Yeah. So he acts like nothing happened. He's in on it. That I did not like that whole scene. Again, I don't like movies like that where it involves a plane.
So where Tony has to rescue 20 people.
I mean, I'm glad he at least rescued them. I would have been more upset if they just had them die. But that whole thing just like there are certain things in movies I can handle and there's certain things I can't, and like as silly as it might sound, that was one of those things I could not handle. I couldn't
Is it
watch
just you
that
like
scene. It was too
your stomach's pancakey?
it just makes me like emotionally just upset.
Mm.
So I did not like that they even put that in there, but I understand it was part of the movie. So yeah, they all get sucked out of the plane, and Tony asks Jarvis, "How many can I carry?" He says 4. How many people are there? I think he says 11.
Yeah.
So he has them form like this chain. He makes their hands magnetic. So one by one, he catches all of them.
Yeah, he does. He basically like
13.
makes them all kind of. He slows their descent down to where
Yeah.
that safely they can land in
Yeah, and
the
they land in
water.
the water, and then they're all like happy and cheery, and I'm like, okay, in real life, they would not be that excited. They would be having a
I mean,
meltdown.
they're alive.
Oh yeah, I mean they're happy they're alive, but they would be having. I just
And then, which I think is one of the funniest moments, is the suit just gets destroyed by a passing by car.
Oh yeah, he's like, okay, I made it, and then boom, he's like, I didn't see that coming.
Because you think he's in the suit,
Yeah.
and then it's revealed, oh no, he's not in the suit. It was just a suit.
Yeah. Yeah. So that scene just sucked the life out of me. But the president survived, but
Yeah,
they put
was,
him in. They put him in.
They put him in. Yeah, they put him in the suit, and then they sent the suit to Killian,
Mm-hmm.
and Pepper's being converted into one of these flame powers.
Mm-hmm. The drone, even with Pepper, she was so mad. Okay. All right. What happens next?
Okay, so Tony and Rhodes get onto the factory or whatever that area is, and they're
There's
sneaking
one
forward.
big
Yeah.
just fight scene that just went on and on and on, and I couldn't. They gave her extremis, yeah. Just that.
Yeah,
Am I skipping?
there's just a
ahead
lot
of-
happening.
Yeah, a lot happened, and that scene. So one point, so everything's blowing up, exploding, whatever, debris is flying everywhere. At one point, Pepper is just like dangling from something or whatever, and Tony's like, okay, like he's like, I can catch you, like just take my hand out, and I've got you, and she didn't do it in time, and then she fell, and you see her fall. What did you say, 200 feet into the fire, and I felt like my face got hot. Like I was so upset. At this point in the movie, I was so mad. I was hating this. It was already disturbing enough for me, and then that happened. I got so upset.
Yeah.
And anyway,
So did you thought she was dead?
I really thought because to me it was like there's no way she could have survived. You see her go into the flames. Like it was like there was no way. So I was very upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is officially the worst movie ever. I was like, I don't know if I can watch any more Marvel movies after this. I went from like 0 to 60. I was so upset. And then obviously Tony's mad. He and Killian go at it.
He calls like all of his suits that he had been working on for like months.
Yeah.
And so it's a battle between all the flame soldiers and like 30 Iron Man suits.
Mm-hmm. And then at one point, all of a sudden he gets, Killian gets like whacked and goes flying or whatever, and we see Pepper with the thing.
Pepper lives.
Pepper lives. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, it redeemed the movie a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, if Pepper died, I think that would have been not a good. Just would have not been great.
I feel like I understand people do have to die in these movies, but like there's just certain things you don't do, and that would have been one of them. Like because she makes him, she like grounds him. She's like
They need each other.
they need each other. She's good for him. I totally like love their relationship. So so yeah, and so then
Killian's defeated.
Killian's
Pepper's like, hey, that was really violent.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like kind of freaked out by like, you know,
how awesome she was for
yeah.
a minute.
I thought her reaction was so cute. Yeah, she was like really, that was really violent.
And then Tony makes it just basically says, we're gonna work things out, all things gonna go figured out, and I'm gonna destroy all my suits that I worked on songs.
And he has Jarvis destroy all of his suits. Let's see, and then he gets
his.
Yeah, he goes in for surgery, and they take the shrapnel out, and
he doesn't need that anymore.
he doesn't need it. So I was kind of left like, but isn't he in like more Marvel movies? Like, when they all get together and go team.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Avengers?
I mean, he doesn't need this to be Iron Man. Is the thing.
So like he destroyed the suits too. So like.
He's starting over.
Okay. All right. So he's not gone forever. He did say, "Oh, I love that part too." He was like, "How come you never dress like this at home? You should dress like this." I thought that was really cute.
And yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's one of those movies where I kind of like if I'm like really wanting to just watch these movies, I don't. It's one of those I kind of skip because it has very little change. It has good moments, but it's just.
I think for me, what like the plot aside, what bothered me more was just like, to me it was disturbing. Again, things that probably wouldn't have fazed other people. For me personally, I'm a little sensitive. There were things that were just disturbing for me, and so
yeah.
I didn't like it. Like I love Tony and Pepper. Like they're just like my favorite. They're just, I love them. I think they're just like my favorite couple ever.
The only other one would be Peggy and Cap.
Oh, I mean, I'm talking like ever, like in movies in general. I think they're just,
Oh wow.
I think they're just adorable. But yeah, so
that was Iron Man 3.
That was Iron Man 3. I'm disappointed that I'm disappointed.
Yeah, you got a lot to look forward to, though. This is like probably the low point that you'll feel for these movies. Everything else has something to it that makes it really great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like I watched Iron Man last night. Went to bed, had nightmares. I was like, I'm not looking forward to Thor today. I was like not looking forward to it. Oh, right. Captain Spike, that thing at the end.
After credits.
That was funny.
Where were you the whole movie?
Yeah, right? Yeah, we see, like, Tony kind of divulging all this to
Banner. Yeah. And Banner sleeps through 90% of it.
He sleeps through it. And meanwhile, Tony's like, oh, it feels so good to get all this off my chest, to talk to someone who really listens. And he's like, did you nod off? He's like, I'm not that kind of, I'm not that kind of doctor. Like, I'm not that kind of, I'm not like a therapist or whatever he said. I'm not that kind of doctor. That was really funny.
Yeah. So speaking of doctors and Doctor Who, did you know about Thor 2?
So it all came back to me. I remember at one point, I had forgotten, but once I started watching Thor, I was like, oh, that's Christopher Eccleston. Had
Yeah.
forgotten that he was in Thor. I didn't know
Yeah.
anything about his role or whatever, but once I saw him, I was like, oh, that's him. And I Googled it just to be sure. Um,
Yeah.
and of course I found an article with Christopher Eccleston complaining about his role. Like, he said they didn't weren't upfront with him about how long he was going to be in the makeup chair.
Mm.
It was like 7 hours or something, and they didn't tell him that. I guess he didn't feel like he was fairly compensated for it. Anyway,
Yeah.
but
So he's going. There's always a role that's got a problem.
for him at least, because I know he wasn't happy with Doctor Who either, which is unfortunate because he's such a good actor, and like I love him in anything I've ever seen him in. But
So
anyway, I thought that was a cool role for him.
yeah.
But anyway, so
Thor 2, how was that for you?
I
This
thought
morning.
it was really good. I really liked it. What I liked about it was how can I put it? I thought it was it was beautiful. I guess that's kind of the best way I could put it. Like,
Yeah.
The effects that they did, just like the scenery was beautiful. The moments that like he has grown on me. I'm not gonna say Captain America is my favorite. He's number one, but like the moments, the scenes in the movie that like tugged at your heart, really.
Yeah, this
did
this
a
one
good
was really
job.
shot well, and
Yeah.
like the action was much more interesting
Mm-hmm.
and everything.
Yeah.
And Thor's hair now has got Qui-Gon look to it, so it's
Yes.
less like less mullet or whatever.
And again, he's matured. Thor has matured even more. That might change soon. Oh boy. Um,
Um,
what do you mean that might change?
we'll see.
Do we know? Does Thor get worse?
No. It's like let's see. Actually, I really am curious to see by the end of this who will be your favorite hero. Like, but as the
Oh, sure,
characters
yeah.
develop,
So
like
far,
who's gonna be.
So far, Captain America is number one, and oh my god, I loved
Oh yeah.
that he showed up. Did they like really did he really come back, or did they just kind of like do effects or something like?
No, I think that was actually like, because of course like this is now like a shared universe, so
Right.
they just like say, hey, can we do a quick cameo scene with you real quick? And it's like, yeah, okay.
I thought that was, and it was so funny, like Loki making fun of him. I feel so
What-
righteous right now. You want to talk about truth?
Yeah. Hey, you want to talk about truth, honor? God bless America. What's okay? So I'll just show you. Like later down the road, I can show you. You have to remind me, but I can show you this. They actually have there's like a deleted scene where it's Loki, but it's Loki the actor, but he's wearing Cap's suit, so he's like it's just him, but he's wearing the suit, and I don't know if this was like gonna be the same. Like this was gonna be the scene, but basically like Tom Hiddleston, the actor, did that to so Chris Evans, the Captain America's actor, could imitate Loki. So it's like basically they were like Loki was pretending to be Cap, so Cap could pretend to be Loki, pretending to be Cap.
I like it. I like it. The cast shows up in other movies with each other. That's cool. Oh,
Yeah,
that might change soon. Like who my favorite character is. Oh, I got you. So far, oh, this is your favorite: Carter, Black Widow, Thor. Loki might be fourth. Did Loki grow on you? Yeah. Well,
Loki was interesting in this one.
so as we talk about the movie, I will say the ending confused me.
Yeah.
When he shows up, I was like, wait a minute, are you doing a nice thing here, or are you doing this to, like, did you kill your father and you're trying to rule now? I with that whole, like, I wasn't sure how to take what happened at the end.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it to you.
Oh, okay. Um,
I've got no answers right now.
no, I know he's a god of mischief. He's a trickster. Like I know all that. Um, but I wasn't sure if he was doing how to interpret what he did. Because I can admit things go over my head sometimes. So I was like, is he trying? Like in the end, like when he sent Thor off, like was he doing that for his brother? Like go, or was he doing that
I
because he wanted to rule? Like,
I think he wants to rule because
okay,
I mean that's kind of his goal in the beginning. It's like he wants to be king. He wants
yeah,
to be in charge. So now it's like, okay, I'm in charge finally.
yeah. I would have liked it better if they ended it with him dying the way he did. Like, because it'd be like, oh, he evolved. Like, um, I like character development. I like to see characters evolve. I mean, I realize some people are just not. Oh, I realize it's still so fictional. I mean, I realize, maybe he's the way he's written. He's just not. He's just.
It's like in his blood at this point, just to be.
So he's not gonna evolve. He's just not gonna. He's not gonna grow. As
I don't know.
As a person, but as a god, he's just not gonna grow. That just kind of. It's like, because at what point does it just keep being the same thing over and over again? Like, doesn't it? People get tired of tricks at some point. Loki's pretending to be their dad, so their dad is somewhere else. Well, right. That was one thing that I figured he either killed him or has him locked away in the dungeon somewhere. Or I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, is he not there? I don't know.
I will say, I'll let you know. You will get some answers later, but it's gonna be a little later. So.
You know what I should have done? Oh no, that wouldn't have made sense. Never mind. I was gonna say I should have watched all the Iron Man movies together, all the Thor movies together, all that. But like that wouldn't have made sense because they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you did that, that would have been like really confusing.
I would have been like, "What happened in New York?" They keep talking about New York.
So the beginning of the movie, so we have like, Natalie Portman and her little side story and whatever.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm losing my voice.
I was gonna say basically like Jane's on a date.
Yes. Well, in the beginning we get a flashback explaining the whole, and I don't even understand it. The very first scene is the past or whatever.
We get like a backstory of Odin's father dealing with the Dark Elves, and this ether thing.
Yeah. Which he's trying to unleash on the other 9 realms. Sorry, I'm reading here. Okay. Anyway, all right. So yeah, we see that whole thing, and then present day, Dr. Jane Foster is on a date. She's hiding behind her menu. I thought that was funny.
The date doesn't go well. Darcy shows up and hit her. Okay.
You know what? I'm one of those people. The more I talk, the more I lose my voice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe the air quality has something to do with it too.
Yeah.
Darcy. Oh, you love Darcy? She's cute. I have to admit, she's
I like her. Yeah, I really like her. She has great moments.
Yeah.
My favorite is just her calling the hammer Mew Mew. Just like this. Mew Mew?
I like how she. Yeah, I like how she kept calling the intern. Poor Ian.
Yeah. So they go. They find a reading. Something's offset.
Yeah.
So they go explore this abandoned factory or warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And Jane gets teleported.
Yeah. Well, first they find that, because this was important. They find this area where it's like a loop, I guess.
Yeah, like kind of like this dimension door things, and
reminded me of something from Doctor Who, like a time loop or something.
Yeah.
But like, so like there were these kids in this warehouse that were showing them, you throw something in there, it comes back, but sometimes it doesn't.
It's like Portal. Like these
Yeah.
things are portaling through. Yeah. There's like 2 doorways. It's kind of hard.
Yeah. And then Jane kind of goes off on her own. She's following the readings or whatever, and she gets like, for lack of a better word, teleported, I guess you would say.
Yeah. She gets sucked into this dimension area, and finds some glowy red stuff that you probably shouldn't. Like Jane, what are you doing, girl? Honey, please don't touch that.
Yeah, that's just like, I feel like, I mean, I realize she's a scientist, she's curious, but I feel like she's also smart. I feel like she wouldn't have done something like that. I just hate it when things.
I know it's got like its own kind of arms and tentacles and will latch onto whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wouldn't get close to that.
And then she like, I guess she like gets sucked away or whatever. It's like kind of encompasses her or whatever. Wear gloves.
Yeah,
there you go. Then
she gets infected.
Yeah.
And oh yeah. Thor. Yeah. So meanwhile, Thor's like trying to control things, kind of trying to help everybody. So they're dealing with all the chaos and the battles and such. And yeah. So after they get back, Heimdall's like, they have a party. Apparently, maybe Lady Sif has likes Thor or something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was kind of surprised that we didn't see that in the first Thor. I was like, yeah, I mean, he's pretty, and she's pretty. He's pretty. She's pretty.
He's very pretty.
She's pretty. He's cute. I mean, I know they're friends, but I mean, you mean that never came up? I don't know. Weird things that crossed my mind. But yeah, so we see suddenly she's taking like an interest in him.
Or like they're kind of being like, what's it called, arranged marriage sort of thing. Like they're kind of being like, here, like there's an Asgardian lady instead of like a human lady.
Yeah. But Thor wasn't fighting. He just wasn't interested. He was too hung up on Jane. Mm-hmm. So he goes and he talks to
Heimdall. Or Odin, or
the guard.
Heimdall, the one who is the teleporter thing.
Yeah, and he's like, how is she?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Lady Sif is his wife in mythology.
Oh, in the original myth.
Oh.
The Nordic myth. That's cool.
I did not.
That explains it.
No wonder she likes him. In an alternate reality, they're together. So anyway, so all of a sudden he looks for her, but he can't see her. And Thor's like, that's not good.
So Thor returns to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Jane returns to Earth.
Yeah. And they meet up, and Jane smacks him.
Yeah, I'm totally on her side on that one.
Where have you been?
It's like, I was stuck. It's like, okay, yeah, you were stuck and you had to deal with your problems. But that doesn't explain New York. You came back, I think.
He was like, I was trying to save everybody. She's like, okay, well, I guess that's, acceptable. But I like later on when she sees Loki and she smacks Loki. That was for New York.
And Loki's like, I like her.
Yeah. I would be mad about that too. Like, at least, call or stop by before you go back to your, your realm or whatever. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Let me be fair. Thor's kind of not very techno at the moment.
He doesn't.
He still look.
Yeah. He doesn't know what's socially appropriate.
The best he can do is send ravens. It's like attaches a letter to a bird and sends it.
Oh man. So, yeah. So, they return to Earth. Her friend, Darcy? It was Darcy, right?
Yeah, Darcy.
Notices that all of a sudden, like, it starts raining, and the rain isn't.
And they're not
Yeah, the rain's not, like, touching them.
not touching Jane, because as soon as Jane walks out,
Yeah.
like, Darcy gets soaked.
And then she sees Thor. And
They're about to be arrested by cops, police officers that are.
yeah, like they go to arrest her for like trespassing. Posture check. Seriously, I'm like, my back is killing me. What was that? Something.
Cop tries to stop her, and then suddenly the thing freaks out and blows up, and
yeah, like protects her from whatever touches her, and yeah, so the guy went flying, and he's like, she's dangerous, and
Thor's like, yep, okay, gotta take you home.
Yeah, he grabs her and takes her back to his realm. So yeah, there was so anyway, so they're back on in his realm. That scene, I had to laugh. That scene where so she's all dressed up in like her, like the type of clothing that they wear, and they're looking out. I realize this isn't the next scene. I'm fast forwarding a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was like trying to think. Okay.
I don't remember what happens next, but that just made me think like one of the early scenes, like once they're there.
Oh yeah.
He's like talking to her about like his realm or whatever. Anyway, and they're looking out. It just reminded me of Anakin and Padme in episode 2 when they're on the lake in Naboo and.
I was just thinking, it's like, okay, Thor knows how to flirt. Thor knows how to like.
Yeah, there's.
He's had like a few thousand years.
He didn't mention anything about sands. Yeah, that scene was funny, but yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't remember what happens immediately once they get there, but
Oh yeah, they're kind of they send her to the like whatever physicians that they have to like scan her.
Yeah.
And Odin's not happy with this.
Yeah.
Until he finds out that she's got the power inside her.
Mm-hmm.
And so they explain the power. They don't know how to get the power out of her and anything like that. Yeah. That's all I can remember of that. Then that, the little romance scene happens.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple of nice Loki scenes with his mother. Which is...
So like Loki is like in like their jail or whatever down in the dungeon, and his mother comes to visit him, and she obviously like. She hasn't given up on him. She still cares for him. She's like, I'm trying to make you as comfortable as possible. But, like, he's not responsive to it.
Yeah, he's very antagonistic towards her.
Yeah. And he's like, you're not my mother, Yeah. And that really, like...
and I didn't realize this, but that's like the last thing he ever says to her.
Those were his last words to her. Doesn't want Thor involved with a person from Earth. He warns him that the lives are short. Yeah. Yeah, it's another.
Mortals versus immortals.
Yeah.
Lives.
Yeah.
So because the. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You remember better than me, so.
I was gonna say, the elves wake up because the ether's been freed of sorts.
Oh, and, okay.
So they make their way to Asgard, and that's when we have a pretty interesting battle.
Yeah.
Take place, and then we have a prison break too.
Yeah, the inmates escape. Loki helps one of them.
Yeah, he basically like tells them that There's like a shortcut, or there's the way out.
Yeah, take the left staircase or something.
Yeah.
Because that's important later on, as I learned. Curse.
And Thor's like, all right, get back in yourselves and I won't have to hurt you. And then like that tag was like, fine, I'll hurt you.
Yep. And then they make their way to where whatchamacallit?
Jane and Frigga are.
Yeah. And long story short, they end up killing
The mom.
Thor's mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
she goes out pretty quickly. Not quickly, but I mean, she does a pretty good fight for.
I thought that was really cool that they like gave her that, that moment where she got to like kind of show what she could do, like to defend herself and. And
then that Jane wasn't actually there. It was a trick. Like she I guess Loki like learned his powers from her. Mm-hmm. Sort of thing.
Yeah. Wait, who wasn't really there? You said Jane was
Jane.
There? Jane was
Yeah, it's like Frigga made an illusion of Jane. That's when Malakos, the elf,
was
going to capture her.
Misunderstood that. Okay.
And they kill her, and Thor gets Thor's there to witness him. And the elves have to get away, and
Jane.
Like we have basically Padme's funeral for Frigga.
That scene, that was like one of my favorite scenes because it was so. I just thought it was so well done. Like it was.
Yeah.
The music was beautiful. The way they did it, and like, it was so sad. It was just so well done. Like I just.
Yeah. I was just like, I remember like I rewatched it like yesterday and I was just like, man, I forgot how good this movie. Like I kept every time I thought of Thor 2, I just think, man, Thor 2 is not that great, and I was like, oh wait, it's actually no, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I forgot how good it was.
It was like it was in that moment I was like, that was when I was like, wow, this is a good movie. This it was really beautiful. And it's just so sad, and then of course there was the scene where like everything reminds me of Star Wars, I guess, where like so the body's in the water and there are flames around her that remind me of Darth Vader, Qui-Gon, I guess. The funeral was great.
And then
was there.
Which another kind of very upsetting kind of realization is that Loki wasn't allowed to even attend the funeral. Like he realized what happened. He's not even allowed to visit. Yeah. Or see goodbye.
But did he really care? Would he like?
He seemed pretty distraught.
He did, but like I don't know. I just you know what? I just can't read him.
Yeah, he flip flops a lot. So it's even like with Thor and his friends are like, okay, we understand you're going to be doing this, but we don't trust you.
Oh yeah. So Thor, works out something with him, and Loki's gonna help him. But yeah, they all threaten him, like if you trick him, we're gonna kill you. But like I'm sure he wasn't scared. He can get himself out of anything, apparently. So I can't.
Thor comes up.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Thor comes up with a plan to get the problem out of Jane, get the ether out of Jane, and gets Loki to help him, show him a shortcut or a secret way in and out of Asgard. Mm-hmm. And they have this interesting escape scene.
Yeah. Loki's like, I know this shortcut. And Thor's like, are you sure about this? He was like, if it was easy, everybody would do it, It's like, it looks like they're going into like this rock or something.
And then of course when they portal through, it's like, ta-da!
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. Loki, I have to say, Loki was pretty funny.
Yeah.
In this.
Oh yeah, where they're trying to escape. It's like, did you try that button? Did you try that button? It's like, Thor's like, it's one of these buttons, okay?
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like they're following us, and now they're shooting at us. It's like, thank you for the commentary.
Yeah, he was funny.
They really picked great actors for these characters.
They did. I gotta say, they're all good actors. Like I can't imagine like anybody else playing, their parts. So, yeah, no, this was a very good movie. All right. So where are we up to? So they escape.
They're on the Dark World planet or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I'm skipping ahead, but eventually they're found.
Well, yeah, Loki betrays Thor, per se.
Yeah.
Did you believe that?
I was so I was like, I was confused. I was frustrated and confused. But then, if I understand correctly, that was all an act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To trick Malekith and his people.
Malekith. Yeah, it's Malekith. I'm thinking the wrong. Malekith is somebody else.
Into thinking that Loki was on their side, and like the guy who was escaping from the prison was like, he's on our side. He helped me, or I think he mentioned something like that.
Yeah. Kind of gives Loki a little more points in the favor of this trick.
Right. But then, yeah, it turns out it was all an act. And
Ether gets sapped out of Jane. So Malekith now has it.
Mm-hmm.
And Loki and Thor have a fight against the brutish elf, whatever.
Yeah.
And Loki gets badly injured.
Yeah, it's like, Loki stabs the guy, and then the guy grabs Loki and pulls him, and then he gets stabbed with what he had, and then he like crashes to the floor, and and that was another one of those moments where I was like, oh my god. And that scene where he died, I thought it was so good. Like, it was sad, it was so good. Like, in my mind, his character evolved. He redeemed himself a little bit. And Thor was like, I'll tell Father what you did here.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful scene. It was a beautiful scene.
Tell him I didn't do it for him.
So.
Yeah. It was, you believed it.
I believed it.
You did a good
believed it.
So.
Just keeps leaving.
I do find it funny. It's like, because we never get a scene that shows it. Like, did they? No, I guess they did just leave because. Well, no, Loki. I don't know. It's what's funny is because we never see what Thor does with Loki's body. I guess he just leaves it because he goes and Jane, and so it's just Loki's just laying there. Yeah, it was a very Shakespearean play, that death scene.
Very true.
Yeah.
But
wonder what other actors you could see playing Loki and Thor.
What's that?
I was just thinking, I wonder what other actors you could see playing Loki and Thor. Like, I don't know if anybody else could do this. We were just talking about that.
That would be fun discussion.
There's actually, I think I saw a video like if Avengers was made in the 90s, what 90s actors would have been.
Cool.
Have been like, I think like Tom Cruise was up for Tony Stark.
I could see
at
like
one point.
Maybe 2 decades ago, like Brad Pitt playing Thor. Same type.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a big Brad Pitt fan or anything. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
There was a time where he was like he's the it guy, and he was that type.
Yeah.
I'm all abs and nothing
Um,
else.
let's see. Where? Okay,
Ben
so Loki
Affleck would make a
dies.
great Loki.
Thor and
Ooh, I could see that.
uh, Thor and Thor and Jane are find like a place to hide in a cave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they luckily find the cave that has where all the dimension stuff from earlier had been tossed.
Yeah, I thought that was cool how they tied that in. Like all of a sudden she sees the can that she dropped is there. Their car keys were there.
A bunch of
Um,
shoes.
all the shoes. And so they realize that this is a portal back to Earth.
Yeah. Also, she gets a call from
Oh,
her date.
yeah, the guy she was on a date with in the beginning called her, and she's like, I'm so glad you called or something like that. He was like, oh, really? She's like, can you just stay on the line? Can you just stay? And he's like, sure. He was like all excited. But then yeah, she like follows, like she's like carrying like almost I don't know, almost like she's looking for a signal or something. I don't know what she was doing, but I guess trying to find the portal.
Yeah.
But
And then of course, when they get back and get in the car, Thor's just like, "Who's that?" He's just like, "Really?"
Don't. Aw, he was jealous. That's so cute. That was adorable.
So kind of like going back forth situation, we have this kind of weird side story with Selvig, like the doctor, and like the old doctor guy.
Oh, Eric.
Yeah, Eric and his situation.
Yeah, he like he appeared to be going crazy.
Probably because of what Loki did to him, kind of threw his brain off a little bit.
Yeah, right. And he was put in like I guess like a psychiatric ward or something.
Yeah. Darcy and then find him, pick him up, and they also we have a Stan Lee cameo.
Hello. How are you? Welcome.
Goku. So yeah, they get Selvig. They get him out of the hospital and they bring him to the place where Jane and them finally meet up and all that sort of stuff. And
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, also we find out the coat hanger hook is worthy of the hammer.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Like you can roll the hammer.
Oh wow, that totally went over my head. I didn't notice that. Pants are optional. Yes, he did not wear pants. But at one point he was like, "Oh, like." I guess they were getting ready to do something. He was like, "Oh, I guess I better put pants on."
Yeah, it's like I gotta go outside. I can't go outside like this.
Yeah, he's got the right idea.
So, yeah, so they all figure out what Malekith is about to do. They all get a plan to go deal with it, and yeah, so we get kind of the final fight.
Yeah, and this was another one of those scenes that I don't like. I don't like scenes, I don't like movies where, like, things are just, like,
destruction?
Yeah. Like, in our realm, on our planet. Like, I just don't like seeing things like that. It's like, it just unnerves me. So I didn't like that whole scene. So, like, one of their ships comes in, and it like just starts going in the middle of like they find they eventually find the location.
Yeah, like all these realms are now starting to be on top of each other.
So that they head there so like Jane and Thor and all they head there intentionally, and sure enough the ship comes in and it's like going between like these buildings, so there's concrete flying, people are running, like it's just chaos.
Yeah.
So then, what happens next?
Thor and Malekith have their fight, and he tries to distract him while they try and test these things. The little I don't know, the little signal or whatever devices that they invented to counter the energy or something like that.
Yeah. And it made them like, if I understand correctly, it made them like go somewhere else.
Yeah, it like teleport. It's like basically it's like the teleport
Yeah.
energy. It kind of just was their own personal one, and they get some. They actually have some pretty creative fights. Like I like how Thor and Malekith just get tossed through different realms, and then they end up in somewhere else entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And I especially
sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
My voice.
I especially love how Mjolnir is like. It's like trying to follow Thor, and then it's like Thor's not here, so it goes into space, and then has to turn around and come back when Thor comes back to Earth. It's just like, oh, come on! Like, make up your mind!
And at one point, what was it, Ian and Darcy get transported. I mean, they're still on Earth, but they get transported somewhere else, and like one of the things is there, and it's about to go after them, but then Ian like attacks it.
Yeah.
And Darcy,
like he tosses a car onto them.
Yeah. And Darcy's like, you saved me. And then when they reappear, like Jane makes them reappear or something, and like
she like teleports them to her, and it's like Darcy.
Darcy has him in like a dip, and she's like hanging out with him. That was funny. But yeah, so they got together, so that was cute.
And yeah, they have their final battle, and Malekith uses the energy to try and this ether to try and take over the realms.
Mm-hmm.
Thor uses the technology things that they had to take out Malekith, and
he transports him somewhere else, and he's like crushed by his ship.
His own ship. Yeah. And it kind of just ends.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't see like we don't see like anyway, the next scene is I think I'm not skipping anything. Thor returns to
Asgard. Talks to Odin, Loki.
Mm-hmm. And we think it's his father, and he's like, as I forget how he worded it, but like
he wants to be able to he's not ready. He doesn't want to be king. He's not ready for king and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, but like
he wants to be with Jane.
Yeah, but his father is like wants him to stay. Like you should stay, but as I forget how he worded it, but he was like, just go. Like I don't remember if he said it like as your father, as whatever. Just go, he tells him to just go. But like
Loki tells him to.
Well,
go.
Yeah, it's basically Loki. But so anyway, Thor goes, and then it turns out, it's Loki and not actually his father. And I was like, thinking back, playing everything back that happened, and trying, So I told you all my questions about that. So I don't know. So I guess I'll find out. A couple movies.
It's kind of funny though. It's like if you think about it on a technical scale, everybody kind of got what they want. Like Loki wanted the thrones, Odin didn't want to be on the throne anymore, and Thor didn't want to be on the throne either. So it's just like, I guess everybody kind of got what they wanted.
Yeah.
And
HR train.
And you watched.
I did. Yes.
Okay, now there was a mid-credit scene. So I'm guessing you didn't see the mid-credit scene, did you?
I saw the end.
With the weird creature chasing the birds and Thor showing back up to Jane.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the end credit scene. There's a mid-credit scene.
I missed it, Madigan. I missed it. All right. Well, I didn't see it.
Do you want to do a quick reaction to that?
All right.
I now have to start figuring out which. I know which credit scenes are the ones you shouldn't have to worry about. But now you start remembering which ones have mid-credit scenes.
I guess I keep
forgetting.
I could look them up. That soldier must have been Loki.
Oh, I've got them. Okay, yeah. I know. Yeah, I know. I think I can remember which one, because I think the next ones are. Important. So yeah, usually the mid-credit scene happens after like the stylish credits in the beginning.
Oh, this I saw.
The what is it?
Where they're looking at.
Oh, you saw this?
This I saw.
Okay. So this is the mid-credit
You were
scene that
talking
you
about the
saw.
birds thing, and that sounded familiar.
It was the weird, just the very end of the thing. But
All right, let me see.
so you've seen like it's Lady Sif and
Oh, this I didn't see. Okay.
wait. So you what's happening?
What's that? So,
Wait,
so
what's happening?
Thor is back. They're kissing.
Oh. Okay, so you've seen this already.
No.
Oh. So you haven't. So, but you saw the.
When you said the thing with the birds, I was thinking of. I heard you mention birds, and that made me. I was thinking of something else.
So you've seen the one with Lady Sif and.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one I saw. So I saw the mid credits. I didn't see the end. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the mid credits is the important one.
Wait, and that scene was actually
Where?
Chris Hemsworth's wife, not Natalie Portman.
Oh yeah.
And when they actually kissed.
Well, yeah, where they kissed. I think his wife is wearing a wig. So.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I can't remember. I think there's another. Like I think I'm wrong. I thought I read this fun fact. I thought I read this fun fact, and I think I was wrong. But like, I think his wife is also the woman on the train that like, kind of like when he's in the subway. And he has to,
Who was like on top of him?
yeah, I think that was his wife,
Oh.
the actor's wife. I'm not 100% sure. I think I might have gotten my facts mixed up.
You could, because I mean, there's that. I felt like it was. I remember thinking, sometimes they do things intentionally to make you notice it, like to draw attention to a scene. And I thought the scene was weird. Like, why are they showing this woman falling on top of him? Like, what's the significance of that if she's not mugging him? I mean, so.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get a scene where the Lady Sif brings, I guess Odin like orders these two to bring the ether to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So because they mentioned they can't have the ether next to another powerful source,
mm-hmm.
Sort of thing. So yeah. Yeah. He says so. He's got one, and there's 5 more of these things out here.
Wow. They call them Infinity Stones.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like this ether is basically a stone. Okay, mannequin.
That sounds really close.
What happened?
You guess you don't hear it. The fireworks.
Oh. Okay. I hear it now.
Sorry, it's just scared the crap out of me. I haven't heard it.
I was like, what jumped you? Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So the Infinity Stones are these power sources and such that it's not ideal to keep them close together.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
That's what I'm thinking.
one that they have that Asgard has is the Tesseract, the cube.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah. So they don't want to keep the cube and the ether close together.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. And that's Thor.
That was right. Yeah, so Iron Man 3, Thor. Yes.
And next
next?
week. Oh boy, guys.
What do I have to do
next week? Is huh?
What do I have to do next week?
It's one movie.
Just one.
Just one movie this week.
I can handle that.
Next week is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
More Captain America. Oh, okay.
And it's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited.
So just one movie next week. Really good movie. Super hyped for this one.
Okay, I'm excited. Top 3 for pretty much everyone. Oh, all right. Wow. So would you say this?
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, Captain America honestly gets like the best of the trio solo movies.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Would you say the next Captain America movie is better than the first one?
Definitely.
Wow.
100% is definitely better.
Well, I'm not gonna ask, but I'm.
I'm not let's say like just kind of like look like I don't like here's hype, but be ready.
Okay. You know the answer to my question. You know what I wanted to ask, but I'm not gonna ask. What I'm thinking is, man, I hope Carter comes back. Agent Carter. That's what I want.
So yeah, I'm ready for next week. I'm so ready for next week.
If anyone, if we see Agent Carter again and she dies, I'm very upset.
So okay, yeah, I'll discuss something about you with you later. But
okay.
I'm excited.
You'll enjoy it. All right, I'm excited. Okay.
So yeah, that was these 2 movies.
Okay.
Now we're on to the next one.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm still chugging along, not giving up yet. So.
Yeah, it's pretty much all uphill from here.
All right, well that's good. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. All right. Any closing thoughts?
Pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and chatting Iron Man and Thor with us. Thank you for sticking with me as I go through the Marvel journey. I'm excited to watch the next movie and discuss it next week. Hope to see you guys back here next Sunday. If you haven't already, please check out The Inspector Who Reacts. Check out his channel. He's got a lot of great stuff on there. He's also doing some live streams too.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting back to making videos again, but yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So you guys definitely check it out. And I will be streaming on Twitch this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and uploading a new video this week on YouTube. So hope you guys have a great night. Have a happy Monday. And be happy, be safe, and we will see you all soon. Bye.